For those of you who don't know, Michael Saylor is a multi-billionaire and CEO of a business analytics software firm, MicroStrategy. He is one of the best-known executives of the internet, for he helped trigger the institutional Bitcoin boom in December 2020, when MicroStrategy's Bitcoin ownership crossed the $1 billion milestone. Today, we'll talk about an interview with Michael Saylor when he asked about his opinion about Bitcoin and why it is the best investment. Hey guys, and welcome back to this channel. This is Chad Confirmed, bringing you the hottest news in the crypto world. Michael Saylor said that he believes we are now living in an extremely volatile time. The political industry is unstable with regard to issues such as foreign trade policies, labor policies, and manufacturing policies. It is therefore important to assess if a company will be affected by trade policy, tax policy, labor policy, manufacturing policy, or even a war before making an investment in it. As a result, there is the initial skepticism. Monetary uncertainty is a second source of uncertainty that we face in the modern world. The collapse of currencies in a large number of nations is becoming increasingly common. They've recently put in place capital controls in Argentina that limit the amount of US dollars that businesses may retain. In addition, because of the strengthening of the US dollar, Zimbabwe's currency has crashed to zero. After all, any currency or corporation that generates cash flows other than the dollar is a huge source of uncertainty and risk for investors. In the past year around the world, almost all currencies are losing value when compared to the US dollar. With all of this political and commercial uncertainty, there's also a lot of monetary uncertainty. Stagflation is the combination of two terms. Our economy is in a state of stagflation. Inflating money supplies means that currencies are no longer as valuable as they once were. The issue is, what can you do as an individual to protect yourself against stagflation over the course of a decade? It is impossible to invest in companies. However, it is not clear which one. Companies that are not monopolies make up 98% of the industry, and they are being consumed by larger competitors. And I can say that if you're considering investing in non-monopoly companies, you have to know that it's quite risky because of employment taxes, labor regulations, and the possibility of unionization. Investing in a firm that employs employees has its risks. If the company produces items and ships them across borders, tariff barriers are a real threat. Investing always has risks. By investing your money in a company, you're taking on all kinds of business risk in the process. If you're seeking to protect your money by investing in bonds, they are currency derivatives, and their value is reliant on the amount of money that will be paid out. It is evident that if you are keeping cash, which is clearly a currency derivative, its value will continue to drop. Over the course of the previous 90 years, the price of real estate in Florida has risen 500 times. If inflation continues at its current rate, your currency will be depreciated by 99.9% versus real estate in 100 years. That's based on a monetary inflation rate of around 7%. It's up to an individual to decide how they're going to keep their life savings, and the inflation risk is only one of many considerations. There's also the issue of the counterparty. The currency may collapse in the United States, but your cash may not be blocked. As a result, there is risk associated with all three of these assets: currencies, bonds, and stocks. When it comes to property and collectibles, you could be interested in buying antiques or items of high value like expensive watches, jewelries, or real estates. So, when inflation is approaching, The typical plan is to buy rare, valuable property that you can hold on to for a long time. That means that if I want to keep it for an extended length of time, I'll need the financial resources to do so. Do you have any great investment strategies you're currently using? I would like to know your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below. And if you know someone that might be interested in this video, then share this link for them to watch. Moving on, the great thing about Bitcoin is you won't have to pay a lot of money to maintain it. In comparison to physical property, the expense of maintaining digital property is way cheaper because the quantity of stock may be changed by the board of directors and the CEO. We don't trust stocks as money for more than 100 years. So in a company, a new CEO may double the stock supply, making it less valuable as a medium of exchange or a store of wealth in the long run. In a nutshell, commodity prices are rising right now, and almost everything has risen significantly in the last year. All of the world's currency is in a freefall. Although the US dollar is crumbling at a far quicker rate than other currencies, it is still losing value. That being said, the case for Bitcoin rests on its rarity. No, it isn't a financial instrument deriving value from a currency. It is not a safety measure. As far as a firm, nation-state, or government agency is concerned, you can hold it and give it for generations to come. You're free to keep it, and a counterparty is not required to be trusted. Because of its portability, worldwide reach, scarcity, and the ability to avoid dealing with a counterparty you don't trust, Bitcoin is highly sought for. You can either transfer to a new counterparty or take personal possession of the property yourself, which is why it's such an asset at the moment. There are other assets that you can acquire, but the things that you could acquire are difficult to possess, expensive to maintain, and not generally desirable throughout the globe. You may not be allowed to have physical possession of it in many circumstances. As a result, your ownership rights are unclear, whether political or physical. Therefore, depending on your nationality, your own region, and the sort of company you're in, you must at least consider them with some risk. I like Bitcoin because it is the purest form of property or ownership that we have yet to discover. That is why I believe it is important to include it in your portfolio. In the end, Michael Saylor brings out the best in Bitcoin and how it is the best investment in this highly volatile world. That's all for today. If you learned something new, like this video and make sure you hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our uploads. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on this video. Kindly subscribe if you haven't already. This is Chad Confirmed, signing off.